Hey Deckers, the Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion demo was dropped during Gamescom. Now I probably butchered the name of that, as I definitely call it Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, which is probably massively incorrect. So correct me in the comments. But the demo was dropped during Gamescom and it is definitely performing a lot better than expected on the Steam Deck. As you can see here with some Outworld gameplay and combat, we're pushing upwards of 60 frames per second with it looking actually pretty decent. And when we go into towns, it does drop around the 30 to 40 mark for brief periods, especially during loading sequences. It does drop a little bit lower here and there, and in the initial sequences it does dip down into the 30s a little bit more often, but for the most part sticking up to the 40 to 60 range is definitely a much better scenario than we expected. You can see some of that load spike there as we start running into the town area here. Very brief though, so definitely more than playable and not huge load spikes here and there for the recommended settings. And it gets even better when we're in the arena. Settings wise, we are going to have to go down to the low preset, which still looks pretty decent on the Steam Deck screen. And we want to change that anti-aliasing to TSR medium with temporal super resolution on quality. Leave everything else to low. I did actually only realize afterwards that chromatic aberration was on, so you might be able to get a few extra frames if you turn that off. But in the battle scenarios in the arena, 60 frames per second, pretty solid, is definitely a good way to be playing this. And as I said, on the OLED screen, it is looking absolutely gorgeous. And this is definitely a great insight into hopefully how this game is going to perform when it fully releases. Now, this demo is actually incredibly long, and you also have co-op multiplayer that's unlocked not long after this sequence, and pushing around 3 to 4 hours worth of gameplay on the demo, not including the amount of replayability if you do go in that multiplayer co-op. So quite a long demo, so the full game must look pretty long as well. And I am going to review the first game on the deck soon. I just need to get a bit further in the game first, so you can get into that before the new one releases. Let us know in the comments below if you've played the first one, or if you're going to be playing first and second, or just the second when it drops. Check out the link in the description below to keep an eye out for pre-orders. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
Now we're talking. We're overloaded with inquiries. What are you talking? It's like I was saying before. You can't make enough so you advertise your mercenary skills by fighting in the Colosseum. You're up to the challenge, right?
Sure.